So for Black Ops 6 Zombies, Treyarch took inspiration from both Black Ops 3 and Black Ops Cold War. This is in their own words, they used the gameplay systems in both of those games to craft Black Ops 6 Zombies. It takes inspiration and brings back multiple features that we saw in BO3, which, since it's considered the best zombies mode by the majority of the community, can only be a good thing if you're taking the best parts of the best zombies we've had to date, and it also takes inspiration from Cold War. And this is good because I would say that game was the most, not divisive, but different to anything we'd seen to that point. Black Ops Cold War Zombies introduced a bunch of brand new features to the mode, such as armor, salvage drops. The gameplay was the most different, and it also felt the most different as well. And because of that, it quickly grew its own fan base, separate to those players who loved Black Ops 1, 2, 3 and 4. There became a divide where, because Black Ops Cold War was so different to prior games, there is a group of people who prefer the older style zombies, Black Ops 4 and before, and a group of people who prefer the new style, Cold War and after. And so what Treyarch have done for Black Ops 6 is taken the best of both worlds. The best parts of Black Ops 3 Zombies, the best parts of Cold War, and combined them to make BO6. What exactly did Treyarch take from Black Ops 3 Zombies? One of the new features in Black Ops 6 is the ability to change up your HUD. That was a big complaint in Cold War, just how ugly it looked and how cluttered and unpleasing to the eye everything was on screen. Whereas you compare the nice looking HUDs that we had in Black Ops 3 Zombies, and especially the themed ones, there was a unique HUD for Shadows of Evil, a unique one for Origins, but in Cold War we had none of that, and more importantly, the HUD looked rubbish. Like there was hardly any effort put into it. And one of the major complaints, because they added in a mini-map which we weren't used to seeing, was that it also took away the immersion. There was just things on screen that, once you'd played the game a few times, weren't necessary. Not every player wants a minimap on their screen, needs their health bar on their screen, so that was a huge complaint in Cold War. However, in Black Ops 6 you can now totally customize your HUD to look however you want it to. There is a variety of preset layouts that you can pick, and one of them is called Legacy, which removes the minimap and positions everything else on the screen in the same place as the HUD in Black Ops 3. You can turn off the health bar, you can turn off the zombies' hits point damage numbers, you can change the colours of your interface, your icons and maps, so the whole of the HUD is completely customizable. However, it's interesting that Treyarch have got one that is preset to Black Ops 3's layout. And whilst I will say it doesn't look exactly the same, and it's not going to because BO3 had unique HUDs, and that is something I would love to see return in Black Ops 6, but still it's a great change. This is the Black Ops 3 HUD you can see. Down the left hand side the round number, next to that the perks, in the middle your field upgrade or your special weapons as that would be, and then on the right Gobblegums and your ammo counter. It's not exactly the same, but it's close enough. I think it looks better, and you can still customize it even more if you want to get it looking perfect. But that was one of the major complaints I had with Cold War, even Vanguard and Modern Warfare 3. I just don't think the HUD looked very good. So that's one thing they took from Black Ops 3. Another obvious one are the Gobblegums. We've already seen, instead of Dr. Monty's Gobblegum, we now have Mr. Peaks, which makes sense storyline wise because Dr. Monty doesn't exist anymore. So they had to change that. It's also had a redesign and works slightly different too. Now Gobblegums are earnable in game. So whereas before in Black Ops 3 you would use Divinium to unlock new Gobblegums, now in BO6 you earn them simply by playing the game. So every few rounds or so you will get a new Gobblegum, and you'll know when you've been awarded one because a reward sequence will appear on screen at the start of that round. I think this is a miles better system. It sounds like you'll be able to unlock Gobblegums a lot easier instead of being almost forced to spend COD points to get them. Now it's as easy as just playing the game and you get one or two every few rounds. Before the game starts, in the main menu you have Gobblegum packs. You select which Gobblegums you want to put in a certain pack, and then you select which pack you want to use in the game. So however many Gobblegums you get in the pack, I think it's 5, those are the 5 that you will be able to get from the Gobblegum machine, which is pretty standard. But what you can now do is change the pack at any time during the match and get totally different Gobblegums instead of having to end the game and choose a different pack. I know it sounds slightly confusing, but if you know how the Gobblegum system works, you will understand. This is a huge improvement, and any Gobblegums that you don't use will be kept in between matches so that you don't lose them. Treyarch have also kind of brought back the OG Pack-a-Punch system. What I mean by that is, ever since Cold War, you go up to it and then you see a menu appear on your screen with Pack-a-Punch level 1, 2 and 3. I've always thought that was kind of pointless because in Black Ops 4 you could pack a punch multiple times, which would, just like Cold War, make your weapon stronger. A menu was never needed. For some reason one was added into Black Ops Cold War. Similar to the HUD situation, it kind of takes away from the immersion and is unnecessary. So the pack a punch menu is gone. You just go up to it, press the interactive button, and each time you do, your weapon will be upgraded. We still have the 3 different pack a punch tiers. There's just no select menu anymore. The one thing I did notice is we still don't have the pack a punch animation of cracking your knuckles, which would be nice. It does slow the game down slightly, but it's never been that much of a hindrance where I don't think it should return. We're also seeing a few enemies return from Black Ops 3, the first one being the Parasites, which we saw in Revelations and Shadows of Evil. I believe they were the only 2 maps. When I first saw these, I thought, okay, they look similar to the Parasites, but slightly different. However, Treyarch themselves have called them the Parasites. These annoying flying creatures, I really didn't like them in BO3, so I'm not best pleased to see them coming back, but at least they're easy to kill. And we also have the Manglers, which we have seen plenty of times since Black Ops 3. However, I'm okay with it in this game because you can now use their own weapons against them. You can use the Mangler's own arm cannon and even turn into one yourself. And the final thing that is returning from Black Ops 3 Zombies, not just that game, but Black Ops 1, 2, 3, 4 and World at War, are difficult Easter eggs, because anyone who's ever done a main quest Easter egg since Cold War Zombies will understand, I think besides from the Outbreak ones, which are more difficult, but Easter eggs became a lot easier, and that was a huge complaint because they were normally extremely difficult, and you could tell that by the amount of people that would complete them. If you just looked at the amount of people that earned achievements for completing main quests, it was always very low. Now in Cold War, main quest Easter eggs became a lot easier, which meant they were more accessible and more people got to complete them. That's good, but it also annoyed a small portion of the Zombies community, especially the more OG players, who liked a difficult quest. So because we have 2 Zombies maps on day 1, the Easter egg in Terminus will be hard, like the Black Ops 3 days, and the one in Liberty Falls will be easier. And to make sure even the new players who aren't very good at Zombies perhaps get a chance to complete these difficult Easter eggs for themselves, there is also now something called guided quests, where up on screen you will have basically a tutorial telling you what to do. For anyone who's worried, don't worry, this feature will be disabled for the first few weeks, so the traditional way of you finding Easter eggs will still be a thing, but once they've been found by the community, Treyarch will then activate guided quests for anyone who's still unaware. This is really no different to watching a YouTube tutorial. If this was active on day 1, it would ruin a lot of the mystery of us solving the main quest for ourselves, but because guided quests will only be available after we've discovered them, this is just going to help those new players, because it is kind of a shame how Treyarch put so much effort into a main Easter egg quest to then see so little people compared to the amount of people that actually play the mode complete it. I think I had a look just the other day on one of the Black Ops 3 achievements, or maybe it was Cold War for completing the main quest, and it was something like 1% of the game's players had done it, which is a shame when you think of how much time, effort and love Treyarch put into these Easter egg quests for so little people to actually do it. So hopefully now there's a guide for people to follow, more people will do it. But the main takeaway is difficult Easter eggs will be returning in Black Ops 6. So you can see Treyarch have taken a lot of inspiration from Black Ops 3 Zombies for this game. The best parts of it, they've also taken the best parts of Cold War, and you can tell that by simply looking at it. It looks a lot like Cold War Zombies, just a lot fresher. A lot of features from that game, such as salvage, is going to be returning. However, it's a more refined system, so instead of having the 2 rarities, blue and green, there is now just green salvage, no blue scrap, which makes things easier. We will also be getting loadouts where you can choose your primary and your melee weapon. You have field upgrades like in Cold War, which I guess are kind of similar to the special weapons in Black Ops 3, almost so Black Ops 4, but I feel like those weapons were more offensive, whereas in Black Ops Cold War, the field upgrades were more defensive. Although there were offensive ones, we are also getting the Arsenal machine, which is a combination of a bunch of different abilities you could do in Cold War, now put into this one machine. So whereas in that game you would go up to armor stations to upgrade the rarity of your weapon, or to the pack-a-punch machine to get an ammo mod, both of those features you now access in this one Arsenal machine instead of the PAP and the armor station, along with the Rampage Inducer, which will boost the zombie wave up until round 20 and make them faster, in turn making the rounds harder. I always thought it went past round 20, but maybe not. Ammo caches are back, of course, where you can buy as much ammo as you want in return for spending points. I forgot to mention, but just like in Black Ops 3, you can also save gun attachments along with camouflages, etc., meaning when you buy that same gun off the wall or get it from the mystery box, it has those options already on it. And along with that, there are a bunch of new features that are coming exclusively exclusively to Black Ops 6, but in terms of what inspiration Treyarch have taken from those older games, they used both Black Ops 3 and Cold War as examples. So if you enjoyed Cold War, this game is going to play a lot like that, but if you enjoyed Black Ops 3, it will include a lot of features from that game. So hopefully it pleases both sides of the community, and so far I think it looks really good. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. What do you think about these changes? What do you think about these comments from Treyarch? Do you agree with them? Hopefully you've enjoyed. Drop a like rating, make sure you are subscribed, and we'll see you in the next one. Until then, goodbye.